Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis. It is September 10th. It is Zur Day. We are on the EDZ down in Winding Cove. And Zur is back, of course. He's up on his little cliffside. If you guys didn't catch the last word, we recorded it last night. We are doing that now Thursdays right here on YouTube. So those of you guys catching it live, thank you for tuning in. But for now, we've got to go up and see what Tentacle Face has to offer up at the top. We will go through the armor stuff in the end just because we got to cycle through all the characters. But for now, let's see what he's selling. All right, so the weapon this week is going to be the Monte Carlo. If you don't have this, I would definitely recommend buying it. It's really, really good for anything related to a melee style build. Why? Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee on any kill. So you've got that, and then on top of that, this weapon grants increased damage from melee kills and kills from this weapon. Melee kills grant ammo for this weapon. So if you like melees, you like melee abilities, this is like the best weapon for those. It's a 600 auto rifle, decent range, pretty stable. Overall, if you like auto rifles in a 600, this is never bad. But if you like melee ability builds at all, this is kind of your jam. And guess what? You need barrier weapons that are auto rifles anyway, so why not use this too? So overall, very good weapon. If you don't own it, please add this to your collection. All right, for the hunters, we've got the Liar's Handshake. Perk here is cross counter. Using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. This is actually kind of cool. If you have a build where you are close enough in proximity to punch things and you're running an arc subclass, you can get that heal. You're going to have a very powerful punch, dodge, get the heal back. There's a pretty fun cycle that you can definitely get going with Liar's Handshake, and it's just a really good melee punch heal combination situation if you get into a pinch. Overall, the stats on this one are pretty even, but it is a 59, which is always just sad to see. Anything below 60 is kind of sad. If you don't own this exotic, you may as well buy it, put it in your collection, kind of see if you're like an arc melee person anyway, if that's your build style. You can mess around with it, but the stats on this one, you'll probably find something better basically anywhere. It's a general, well-rounded drop. 12 recovery, 12 intellect is fine, but I mean, if this was a little bit higher, pretty much anything could be higher. Overall, basic thing. If you don't have it, add it to the collection, but the stats, not exciting. For the Titans, we've got the Helm of Saint 14. Not one that we need quite as much as we used to. Basically, you've got here, enemies that enter Ward of Dawn are blinded, while allies that pass through gain an overshield. Guardians with Sentinel Shield blind nearby allies. So basically, enemies that pass through or get near your shields will be blinded, and allies that pass through will get an overshield. The thing about this Helm, when Void 3.0 launches with Witch Queen, some of these exotics related to that system that is definitely going to be changing also may get another pass. That's why some of them may not have been touched for a while. So this is a 62 stat roll. Not bad, but not the worst. Resilience of 19. If you're going Ward of Dawn, you actually need high resilience. That's not bad. 17 intellect. Again, putting it into the super. Not a bad exotic. In the grand scheme, Void 3.0 could really give this more reason. It may get a little bit of a rework, maybe an ultra valuable one. And the fact that you've got 19 in resilience, 17 in intellect, and even double digits in recovery, check your stats, because this is actually a pretty good Saint 14 in the grand scheme of things. 62 is not the highest, but where it's got its stats is actually pretty valuable. And with Void 3.0 and Witch Queen, which I know is 6 months away, but if you don't have it, this is not one you want to miss out on. So add this to your collection. It could get really good next year. For the Warlocks, we've got the Claws of Ahamkara. Very simple. Gain an additional melee charge. Whatever class you're running, does not matter. You get a bonus melee. Stasis melees are powerful. Celestial Fire for floating in the air. There's a lot of times melees for Warlocks are really potent. Void 3.0 is about to make those a whole lot of fun when you get to pick and choose and do all of those things. And you've got 20 in recovery and 15 in strength. I mean, Warlock, that's the recovery stat. And then strength, this is a melee build. He's, 8 in intellect, some resilience. You probably could shift a few things around, but recovery and strength both high for a Warlock melee item. I don't know what else you can ask for. Total of 63. Might compare your stats. Those two alone definitely could consider this one could be a good stat roll for you. And it's like very general use. If you want extra melees, it works for every class. Overall, definitely potentially buy this one as well if you don't have it, or maybe the stats are better. All right, so that's all the exotics. We're now going to go through the legendary weapons, see if there's anything good this week. We've got the 7 Seraph Carbine, auto-loading holster, and rangefinder. Auto-loading holster on an auto rifle, never really going to do it for me, so that's kind of a throwaway. We've got the Seven Seraph Revolver, Pulse Monitor, and Feeding Frenzy. You've got Accurized Rounds, Hammerforged Rifling, and Feeding Frenzy. Those generally aren't bad. On Pulse Monitor, somebody could probably tell me if they like this one more or less. Automatically reloads the magazine and improves weapon handling when critically wounded, even if it is stowed. It's kind of okay. I still think there's better perks in this slot, but generally it's got a decent range setup for this 180 hand cannon, so not too bad. We've got the Last Dance Threat Detector. So increased reload stability and handling. Sidearms, you're going to be fairly close anyway. Gives you a little boost to range. Extra in the magazine, as this is a 3-shot burst. The magazine's going to be fairly large. Bonus to range as well, and then you can even boost the range with Farpoint. Not a bad Last Dance if you're looking to toy around with a sidearm. This thing is ultra stable, and then of course you can get some more, well, you'll give up some stability, but you can get some range on this thing as well. Time Lens Vertex, firmly planted, doesn't do it for me, because I know some people like to slide into things. It could be a good thing if you like sliding in. Accuracy, stability, and handling. Demolition is for those grenade bonuses. You got battery size, particle repeater. You're going to have some stability on this one, depending on what you go with, and a little bit of range, but overall, firmly planted for me just doesn't do it, so not an exciting one for me. We've got Long Shadow. Hipfire Grip is an instant throwaway for me. It just hurts me to my soul. Tireless and Shattering Blade. Not the really exciting perks on a sword. Overall, nothing too great there. And then, of course, Frozen Orbit, Surplus, and Box Breathing. That's not bad. Surplus is going to give you handling, reload speed, stability. Box Breathing, if you get that ADS, you're going to have that already. Pretty high range. Range Masterwork. You've got Tactical Mad, but you've got extra range here. And then you can even get extra range with Corkscrew Rifling. You can almost max out the range on this thing. So that's not a bad looking sniper if you're looking for range. I don't know if Surplus is like the be-all, end-all, but extra handling, extra stability, box breathing for the pullout, and then you've got the, don't take that out of context, sorry. Accurized rounds, range. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Now let's look at the armor and see if anybody wins. For the Titans, we've got a 63 stat gauntlets. It is 19 in the strength slot, 13, 10, 11. That's not bad. Intellect's low, but again, overall pretty useful stats in general. So again, if your stats suck, that's not terrible. 47, woof. Class item, still just a waste, unless you're trying to complete like a collection for transmog. That's about the only reason you'd be buying cosmetic here. 54, nope, and 50, no. So if you need a pair of gauntlets, maybe if you're going for a high strength build. All right, so now we're on to the Warlocks. We've got a 62 stat roll, high resilience, high discipline with 2 recovery and 2 intellect. I'm going to say even though it is 62, not really the best stats I've seen for a Warlock. 60, not bad. Resilience, recovery, discipline, some strength. Low intellect, low mobility, but depending on your build, 60 is at least in some, specific places. Helm of 63. Wow, okay, they really want you guys to have resilience this week for some reason. Maybe you're trying to survive a little longer. Or if you're going if you're going a well build and you need the actual sword to be a bit more survivable, resilience is going to actually make a difference there. 27 discipline, though. Damn, that is a lot. 63 is big, but low recovery, low intellect, low strength. Low recovery hurts for a Warlock. It really does. But if you were going high discipline, there you go. And that's a lot of strength. Low discipline, medium recovery, some resilience. If you're going for a Well of Radiance build, resilience is going to help that sword be more survivable if you're putting it up under a boss. So, I mean, this is kind of what it looks like these are going to. Pretty high discipline as well. It's like a resilience discipline build, and then you got 24 strength on this one. I mean, they're literally all in the 60s, which is not a bad thing. You'd at least have a high total, but you've got some really low recovery, very low intellect between all of these. So depends on what your build is, but I don't know if I'd get too excited, but maybe for a certain build it could be good. Finally, for the Hunters, we've got a 65. Pretty well rounded, little low on the recovery, but overall 65, that's a solid total. 63 with low resilience and low strength. Damn. 16 recovery, 14 discipline, 15 intellect. I swear Hunters are going to win again. 58, that's less exciting. 63 again with intellect. Little high on the resilience, little low on the recovery, but generally like the chest, 65, 63. Those are some solid stats. And remember, just because it's Arc, you can always switch any of these. So if you're looking to build a stasis set, maybe this works for you. I would say Hunters are slightly better because I think these stat distributions are a little better. They're very spiky on the Warlocks. Titans were still very sad in a corner somewhere. But overall, solid Saint 14. If you don't have this for Titans, please make sure you pick this up because Void 3.0 could make this exciting. If you're a Warlock, high recovery, high strength, additional melee charge, straightforward. Hunters, unfortunately, if you don't have it, you can add it to your collection, but the stats here are not very exciting. Monte Carlo, make sure you guys buy it. If you guys did enjoy this video and you're enjoying my content, please drop a like below. Leave a comment if there's any, stats or something I may have missed that would be a good thing to pick up. If you guys are new to the channel and you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit that alert bell so my new videos make it into your YouTube feed so you can find me in the future. If you want to support me directly, you can hit that join button or head over to Patreon and support me over there. You guys can find me over on Twitch at Ebontis and then streaming on Twitter at Ebontis and then streaming on twitch.tv/Ebontis and also streaming right here on YouTube. Thank you guys. Have a good one. See you soon.